हाय फ्रेंड्स, होप यू आर डूइंग वेल। रीअसेसमेंट की न्यू रिजिम में जो कि 1 अप्रैल 2021 से एप्लीकेबल हुई है, उसमें जो टाइम लिमिटेशन है अंडर सेक्शन 149, उसमें दो क्लोज है 149 ए एंड बी। ए में 3 साल तक पिछले 3 साल के असेसमेंट रीओपन कर सकते हैं और बी में फ्रॉम 3 years अप टू 10 years रीअसेसमेंट ओपन हो सकती है। बट उसमें एक राइडर है बी में कि इनकम लाइकली टू एस्केप 50 लाख से ज़्यादा होनी चाहिए। 149 ए में ऐसा नहीं है, इसमें 50 लाख से कम हो तो भी 3 साल में अगर कवर होता है तो कर सकते हैं। बट 149 बी में वो मैंडेटरी कंडीशन है कि 50 लाख से ज़्यादा इनकम चार्जेबल टू टैक्स आपकी एस्केपमेंट में डेफिनेशन में आनी चाहिए। और जो इन फॉर्म ऑफ जो 3 क्लोज है वो भी उसमें डिफाइन किए हैं कि इन फॉर्म ऑफ एसेट है या एंट्रीज है, वो इसमें कवर होना चाहिए। रिसेंटली कर्नाटका हाईकोर्ट ने एक डिसीजन में जो 50 लाख की लिमिट है उसको कैसे कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं, वो ग्रॉस अमाउंट गिनी जाएगी या इनकम चार्जेबल टू टैक्स में एसएससी की नेट इनकम गिनी जाएगी, उस पर एक एसएससी की फेवर में एक बहुत ही बेहतरीन डिसीजन दिया है। तो आज इस वीडियो में हम वही डिसीजन को देखते हैं। इसमें कर्नाटका हाईकोर्ट ने क्लियरली कहा है कि इनकम चार्जेबल टू टैक्स अंडर 149 1B में ऐसा क्लोज है, इनकम चार्जेबल टू टैक्स। तो जो इस केस में कैपिटल गेन की इनकम थी, लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन की, तो आफ्टर कॉस्ट ऑफ एक्विजिशन, इंडेक्सेशन और जो एक्सपेंसेस है वो माइनस करके जो नेट कैपिटल इनकम है, नेट कैपिटल गेन टैक्सेबल टू इनकम टैक्स, उसको गिनी जाएगी, ना कि ग्रॉस अमाउंट फॉर द कैलकुलेटिंग 50 लाख रुपीज। सो लेट्स गेट इनटू इट। ये केस है मिस्टर सनत कुमार मुराली वर्सेस इनकम टैक्स ऑफिसर। सो ये जैसा कि यहाँ बताया है, डिसाइडेड इन फेवर ऑफ एसएससी है, रिट पिटिशन फाइल की थी एसएससी ने। सो नाउ लेट्स लुक एट द फैक्ट्स ऑफ द केस। The petitioner has challenged the order dated so and so under section 148 AD of the Income Tax Act and also sought for the quashing of the impugned notice bearing date so and so. On the 3rd March 2023, the notice under 148B came to be issued to the petitioner stating that the information was received which suggested that income chargeable to tax for the EY 1617 has escapement within the meaning of 147. Detailing of the information along with the supporting documents. Information detail in annexure which is extracted below. TDS statement, sale of consideration of immovable property, source, amount, मतलब एसएससी ने इतनी अमाउंट से सेल किया था प्रॉपर्टी को 55 lakhs विच इज मोर देन 50 lakhs। इस बेसिस पे 1617 का रीओपन हुआ है विच इज बियॉन्ड 3 years फ्रॉम द 31st March 2023। This was followed with another notice dated so and so. Petitioner stated that to have made out a reply to said notice dated in which details were laid out setting out that the sale consideration relating to the sale date was this and also furnishing details of the sale date by virtue of the petitioner has purchased the property on 24th September 2011 for consideration of 15,91,000, that is cost of acquisition. It was submitted that since the date of acquisition was in year of 2011, the sale was in 15, the long term capital gain would be as follows। यहाँ एसएससी ने लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन कैलकुलेट किया है, 3 साल से ज़्यादा है मतलब इंडेक्सेशन कॉस्ट उसको मिलेगी। सो नेट कैपिटल गेन आफ्टर डिडक्टिंग कॉस्ट ऑफ एक्विजिशन, इंडेक्स कॉस्ट ऑफ एक्विजिशन इतनी आती है 33,85,000 which is less than 50 lakh. The capital gain according to the petitioner in terms of the reply made out, it was submitted that income escaping the assessment did not exceed 50 lakhs in terms of 149 1B and hence notice under section 148 could not be issued. In its submission, learned counsel for the petitioner said that notice under 148 with respect to the assessment year 1617 and time limit for issuance of notice would be 3 years from the end of the relevant assessment year, and if the department seeks to justify the issuance of notice in extended time period of 149 1B, beyond 3 years but not more than 10 years, department would have to demonstrate that the income chargeable to tax which has escaped is likely to more than 50 lakh rupees. मतलब ऐसे सीन है, अगर 16-17 की नोटिस इश्यू करनी हो तो 3 साल से पीछे जाना होगा, बट 3 साल से पीछे तब जा सकते हैं जब आप 50 लाख से ज़्यादा एस्केपमेंट हो। यहाँ इनकम चार्जेबल टू टैक्स, ये वर्ड बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है पूरे केस में। It is further submitted that in present case as demonstrated, the income chargeable to tax calculated in terms of section 48 would be less than 50 lakh rupees. Hence, notice would not fall within the extended provided time 149 1B में notice नहीं आएगी. Learned counsel appearing for the revenue would submit that since the proceeding under 148 is at the initial stage and adjudication is to take place in terms of the procedure prescribed under 148A, it would be premature to construe the contention relating to the income chargeable to tax as contended by the petitioner, and the income that has escaped to be taken not for the purpose of 149 1B, which would be total sale consideration reflected as 55 lakh. जो रेवेन्यू है, रेवेन्यू ऐसा बोल रही है कि ये 148A इनिशियल स्टेज है, विच इज इंक्वायरी बिफोर असेसमेंट 148A की, उसमें अगर हम इनकम चार्जेबल टू टैक्स है वो डिबेटेबल इशू है, तो इनिशियल स्टेज पे ये इशू हम अभी नहीं लेना चाहिए और टोटल एस्केपमेंट को 55 लाख को कंसिडर करके ये नोटिस को वैलिड गिननी चाहिए. It is submitted that what is relevance for the 148 is information received, and in terms of the information received, consideration was 55 lakh. Accordingly, it is the income that have escapement in lieu of 149 1B. Learned counsel for the appearing revenue also relied upon the memorandum explaining the provision of Finance Bill 21 to justify such interpretation. Now, what court held? What needs to be noted in the present case is income stated to have escapement which has taken note of seeking to reopen of assessment for EY 1617 is a sale transaction. The time prescribed for such reopening by virtue of proceeding under 148 is provided under 149. Relevant extract of 149 reads as follow. Here is 149. No notice under 148 shall be issued for the relevant assessment year if 3 years have elapsed from the end of the relevant assessment year unless case falls under B. यहाँ assessment year है, relevant है 16-17, तो 16-17 की notice issue हो सकती है 17-18, 18-19, 19-20, मतलब 31st March 20 तक ये notice issue हो सकती है irrespective of escapement of income. If 3 years but not more than 10 years have elapsed from the end of the relevant assessment year unless AOA is in possession of books of accounts or other documents in which reveal the income chargeable to tax represented in form of an asset, expenditure in respect of the transaction or in relation to the event or acquisition, or any entry or entries in books of accounts which has escaped assessment amounts is likely to amount 50 lakh rupees or more. So this is the 149 for the limitation of notice issuing under 148. Further court held, it is clear that there is a bar prohibiting the issuance of notice under 148 if 3 years has elapsed from the end of the relevant assessment year unless case fall under clause B, which is very clear. According to, no notice under 148 could be issued after 3 years from the end of the EY 1617, subject to the exception of the extended period limitation of 3 years but not more than 10 years. If the assessing officer has material which would reveal that the income chargeable to tax inverted comma which has escaped the income amounts are likely to amount 50 lakh rupees. In present case, the enclosure show cause notice in form of annexure reads as follows. This we have already gone through. It is clear that the notice issued in context of the sale consideration from the same property 55 lakhs as noted above, the reply show cause notice copy of which enclosed would reveal that details of same consideration. Cost of acquisition would be the index cost of acquisition in light of the accrual of the long-term capital gain. In the present case, clearly the income that has escaped assessment is the proceeds from the sale as made out from the perusal of the annexure of the show cause. In case of the income arising from the sale of property which may fall within the purview of 48 so as to amount to capital gain. It is relevant to notice that section 48 provides for the mode of computation of income chargeable to tax under the head capital gains. Section 48 reads as follows. The income chargeable to tax under capital gain shall be computed by deducting from the full value consideration received or accruing as a result of the transfer of capital asset by the following amounts, namely expenditure, cost of acquisition in case of value of money or capital received by the specified person from a specified entity. In subsection 4 of 45, the amount chargeable to income tax is computed by specified entity under that subsection which is attributable to the capital asset being transferred by the specified entity in the prescribed manner. Provided further that when long-term capital gain arises from the transfer of long-term capital asset other than the capital asset arising to a non-resident from transfer of shares or debentures of an Indian company referred in first proviso to provision of clause 2 shall effect as if for the words cost of acquisition and cost of any improvement, the word index cost of acquisition and index cost of improvement had respectively be substituted. The words used in 149(1)(b) is that the income chargeable to tax which has escaped the assessment amount or is likely to amount to 50 lakh rupees or more for that year. The income chargeable under the head capital gain would arise in case of the sale transaction is provided under section 148, which provides that the income chargeable under the head capital gain shall be computed by deducting from the full value of consideration the cost of acquisition and in event property purchased has been held for a period of beyond 3 years in terms of section 48. The word cost of acquisition is to be substituted by the index cost of acquisition. It must be noticed that before issuance of notice under 148 reopen the proceedings with respect to EY 1670, section 148 provides that section 148 reproduce किया है which is opportunity of being heard provided to the assessee before reopening. Clearly, when the procedure is followed, culminating in an order passed under 148D, the authority is required to apply its mind and consider the reply of the assessee and pass considered order. In the present case, the respondent authority has not applied its mind to the reply filed nor noticed the legal position while it's deciding the application of extended period under 149(1)(b). Accordingly, in present case, the word found in 149 which is income chargeable to tax must be read in terms of the income as arising out of the capital gains as provided under 48 and this is only manner of understanding the words. The contention of the revenue that the 149 what is required to be taken note is income that has escaped assessment being entirely of the sale consideration cannot be accepted in light of the express words in the statutory provision income chargeable to tax which is escape assessment amounts to or likely to amount 50 lakh or more. It cannot be stated that since the stage at which notice is issued is a premature stage, the entire sale consideration ought to be taken note. A plain reading of the 48 would be provided that the entirety of the sale consideration does not constitute income. The memorandum explaining the provision of Finance Act 21 does not in any way lead to giving a different interpretation towards income chargeable to tax. The word used under 149 for the purpose of extended time limit is to be interpreted in terms of the plain wordings of the 149 and cannot construct to differently by relying on any executive instruction. Learned Counsel appearing for the revenue has relied on the judgment of the Rajasthan High Court in case of the Abdul Majid passed in civil writ petition. However, a close reading of the said judgment does not support the interpretation sought to be placed and the High Court of the Rajasthan also retracted the same position as laid above. Accordingly, the order passed under 148D of the IT Act is set aside and notice issued under 148 by the respondent is also set aside and writ petition is accordingly allowed. So यहाँ कोर्ट ने बहुत ही क्लियरली बोला है कि इवन इट प्रीमेच्योर स्टेज एट द स्टेज 148B तो अभी भी आप 50 लाख को जो इनकम चार्जेबल टू टैक्स से अंडर एक्ट डिफाइन किया है वही आपको मतलब जो नेट इनकम है वही आपको कंसिडर करनी चाहिए ना कि जो ग्रॉस अमाउंट है वो. So this decision will definitely help in assessing while determining what actually constitute 50 lakh. So I hope ये वीडियो आपको पसंद आई होगी. हैव अ गुड डे।